We asked some people who live, work or socialise in Brooklands and Northern about what keeps them well in winter. We talked about the importance of keeping fit and moving during the cold months, where folk can get emergency food parcels, the importance of flu and COVID vaccinations, especially for those that are more vulnerable, and how to reach out if you need help. Seasonal influenza, known as flu, is an unpredictable but reoccurring pressure that the NHS faces every winter.
I think that the flu jab is very important, not only if you're getting older, but for people that have a vulnerable disability, which I think sometimes they don't realise that they really need the vaccine.
Yeah, so the flu vaccine, we encourage our families with children aged 2 and 3 to take up the flu vaccine to keep them safe over winter. Some of the families, if they have children with long-term health conditions, they can be eligible for the vaccine a little bit older as well. So we advise families to speak to the health visitor or the GP. It's just a simple nasal spray, so it's kind of nothing to worry about, and the children just feel a little tickle up the nose.
I've got an older girl who is 10. She's had the flu vaccination, I think for the past 2 years. She's had it at school. And then I've got a 6-year-old who had it for the first time last year. It is just literally just goes up the nose. There's no crying involved. There's no getting overly nervous of needles or anything. And they all go with the class. They all get a sticker afterwards. It's made like a big deal of. They all sit down. They're absolutely fine once they've had it done.
My children have all had the flu vaccinations in school, so you usually get a consent form a couple of weeks before. And then sign up if you want or don't want it. Since they've been at primary school, they've had it practically every year.
It is important to send the consent form back to school. It might be an electronic or a paper version. It's a myth that when you're pregnant you shouldn't get the flu vaccine. It's a fact. Pregnant women should especially get the flu vaccine since their immune systems are weaker than usual. The inactivated flu vaccine is safe at any stage of pregnancy and will also help to pass immunity onto your baby.
So it's really important for anybody to have the vaccination, because obviously I work in a GP practice and we're seeing positive results coming in every day. So if you've got comorbidities like COPD, diabetes, asthma, it's really important to look after yourself and get yourself vaccinated. We're a warm, friendly, environmental place to come to, and will make you feel happy, relaxed.
This film's aimed at trying to encourage people to get vaccinated. And what's the feedback from your perception? What have you noticed today? Perhaps people from different countries, as well as perhaps elderly people and young people. Is there a big mixture of people having vaccinations?
Yeah, we're getting all age groups, so currently we're getting at-risk immunosuppressed 5 to 11-year-olds, we're getting teenagers that are catching up who may have missed it because they had COVID earlier and had to wait.
Yeah.
And also we're getting 5 to 11-year-olds that, if they want to, they can opt in and they've been invited and parents are bringing them. So we're getting everybody, all age groups, all nationalities. It's brilliant.
That's tremendous. What I've picked up is there's not much apprehension or fear. People are implying that they're happy to come.
Yeah, no, most people, everybody, I think, that's turned up is wanting it. Some people are very nervous, and we've got a quiet room where we can get them vaccinated and we take them time. Children we take longer with, we can take them to one side, take them to a special couch where they've got the time. But people are wanting to get vaccinated because they want to protect themselves and their family and everybody.
Oh, that's excellent. And finally, what strikes me is the work that's going on here today. It's a Saturday, the forum's open,
yes,
and people are coming through the doors with or without an appointment.
Yes.
And that is tremendous. Is it tiring work, and what would you say about the vaccination programme? It seems to be really successful, and this is Wythenshawe and it's full of people.
I've been involved right from the beginning when it first started, the 1st December that we did it, and it's been amazing. It was well run, well set up. We've changed venue. This is a new venue, and we're still, getting sorted with it, But no, it's great. It's a great bunch of people that have been involved, many from the very beginning. We're all enthusiastic. We want to get people vaccinated. That's what we want to achieve. And yes, we're busy. It is very busy today. There's a lot of queries which I help with. There's a lot of problem solving sometimes. But you know, the thing is to get people vaccinated safely and in an efficient manner as well.
So what advice would you give to somebody who might be...
I'd say definitely have it.
Yeah.
There's no point in not, is there? You're only going to cause trouble for yourself if you don't, and other people.
I'm really happy when young people come in for their jabs and when first timers come in for their jabs, because it's so important that we not only protect ourselves but protect the community, and that's the really big thing. It's about protecting others in our community.
Yes.
Right, and are you feeling well today?
I'm fine, yes.
Good.
It is very important that you get your vaccinations for COVID because it is still here, and even though it's not compulsory that you wear a mask, the chances of getting COVID are still high. And if you get it and you've had both of your vaccinations, then the effects of the illness might not even be that bad and will prevent you from having to go to hospital in the first place.
I've been given both of the vaccines and they didn't hurt as much as people said they did. And you know, I've got a lot of friends that said that they didn't want to have it, but they ended up getting it. But, you know, I think that it has stopped me from getting COVID, even though I've only had it once. So it's just, it doesn't hurt that much, and it's over within a few seconds. So I would advise people to get it because then it gives you a less chance of getting infected by COVID.
What have you come down here for today?
Well, to get my COVID vaccination.
And I believe it's your first one?
Yeah.
Were you scared, apprehensive at all?
Not really.
Oh, that's good. What would you say to somebody who might be a little bit unsure whether to have the vaccination? What would you say to encourage them, perhaps?
I mean, there's a pandemic going on, and if we had the COVID vaccination, it would help. Well,
Yeah.
it'll help a lot.
Oh, that's excellent. Have many of your friends had the vaccinations?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, in effect, you're saying young people, they seem a lot more encouraged now to be vaccinated?
Yeah.
Oh, good. And what was the actual process like for you here today at the forum?
Well, I had to get like some kind of card, and then it's a huge line. I had to go get a card, and then go to get my vaccination. They put like a needle on me, and then just work.
Hi, I'm Zoe. I'm the Learning Disability Care Coordinator for Brooklands and Northenden. I work with the doctors to help people with a learning disability come in for their annual health check. The annual health check is really important for everyone over the age of 14 with a learning disability to come to at the doctors. You don't need to be poorly to come into the doctors for your annual health check, but it's a whole body check about your physical and mental health and anything that you'd like to talk about with the doctor. I can call you before the appointment to find out any reasonable adjustments that you might need. These are things that make it easier for you to come to the appointment. Things like having information in easy read, so it's big print and big pictures, or we can offer you a quieter waiting room or an appointment time that suits you better. The doctor might ask you questions about the things that you eat, what activities you do, like exercise, going for walks. It's really important to have an annual health check so that we know what's normal for you. And then if you do get poorly, the doctor will know how to help you better. You don't need to come to the appointment alone. You can come with a friend or a carer or a family member, and even I can come and meet you if that's what you want. After the annual health check, you'll get a health action plan. This will help you remember what you've spoken about with the doctor and any goals you've set together. So it might be things like doing more exercise, eating more fruit and vegetables, or going to the opticians. So an annual health check is just one of the things that you can do to keep you healthy. Another thing that's really important is to get your COVID and flu jabs when you're offered, and the doctor will tell you when you're ready for them.
My name is John Hendrickson and I have got autism.
Yes, and I understand, John, that you have had your COVID vaccinations.
I had three vaccines. I had me AstraZeneca one, then I had my second one, AstraZeneca, then I had my third one, the booster.
Now, where did you go and what was the process like for you, John?
My vaccines, I had them at my doctor's surgery because I didn't have to queue up to get my vaccine.
Now, lots of people with a so-called learning disability, or mixed ability as we refer to, may have Downs and autism, Asperger's, and some people might be a little bit afraid. What would you say to put a person's mind at ease about going for the vaccination?
Don't be afraid about the vaccine. Just go. If you're sure about them, ask your carer to go with you for support.
And what was your treatment like when you went to your GPs to get your vaccinations, please?
It was great. My sister went with me.
Hi, Kelly.
Hi.
I understand that you had your vaccinations for COVID and...
Yeah. I had my 2 vaccinations, which was the Pfizer, and I had my booster, which was also the Pfizer. They all kept their distance, you know, like 2 meters apart, and where you go to have your vaccine, it's all cornered off, so it's like all screened off, so it's really good.
Excellent.
Hello everybody, I'm Jeff Lamb, and the most important is to get your COVID injections. That's most important. And get your boosters as well.
So have you had your vaccinations,
Yes,
Jeff?
I have.
My name's Claire. I go for my flu jab and it keeps everyone safe.
Oh, great. It keeps you safe, doesn't it, Claire?
Yeah, it keeps me safe.
Have you been going for quite a few years, would you say?
Yeah.
Yeah. And where'd you go for yours?
Tregenna Doctors.
Excellent.
Go for your flu jab, and even if you don't feel even if you don't feel well, you might feel achy or shivery or shaky, and then it will be over then. You might feel you're burning up a little bit and stuff. You might get a high temperature as well. A little bit. You might do.
What advice would you say to somebody who's thinking of having a vaccination, please?
It will help you stop getting flu, and it doesn't hurt.
Have you been having flu vaccinations every year?
Once a year.
Once a year, yeah. And I presume you've had your COVID vaccinations as well?
Yeah, at the last day.
Yeah.
Last year, I had my flu jab with Dr. Sahar. He said this will keep you safe, so I won't get poorly or ill in the future, and encourage those. You must go to your GP. You must go to the medical centre and see your GP to have your flu vaccine.
It's an interesting fact. Most people can have their flu jabs.
Yeah, we've heard that only about half the population are currently going to have the flu vaccinations when it's there for everybody, isn't it?
It is mostly for everybody.
What made you go for yours, Jeff?
I had it before I moved to where I'm living now, and I had it at Badley Pharmacy. That's where I had it done. I went to Badley Pharmacy. It was quiet. Everything was fantastically well. It was great. I had my flu jab. Took me into a little room in the pharmacy. Then I left. You might have.
It's a shame, like half of the population only goes for the flu jabs, which is a shame because I think everybody should have their flu vaccinations.
When it comes to vaccination for my children, I don't have any objection when it comes to, because at the end of the day, it's the welfare of my children, so I'm quite aware of the cold that comes into the winter, and some people have an issue only because of what's inside the vaccine. So, for instance, we had an issue in school that we had to give my small child a vaccine. I don't know if it was polio or nasal spray. Nasal spray had, from my background, because I'm a Muslim, I don't want my children to have the vaccine that has the product of gelatin. So I will opt out into that, but if they had more variety of different type of vaccination that doesn't have that product, I don't think many parents will object to it. For the fact that people have issues with the vaccination, from a young age, when you're born, you need your vitamin Ks, they inject you into that. So I don't see what's the big reason why you shouldn't be able to have an injection or a vaccination of a flu jab. Well, myself, I haven't had one, but when now we have COVID, I have got my 2 jabs. At the end of the day, it's my welfare. And my children, all of them have had one. So I don't see any issue.
Yes, I've opted to say no for the school offer for vaccinating my children because they only offer the nasal spray for the flu jab. If they did offer an injection that was a nasal and was a different option, I'll take it.
Because as a learning curve for me, this is fantastic because I didn't go. So perhaps what advice would you say to the NHS to perhaps put another choice out there for people?
Put another choice and make it clear. Because the forms either gives you yes or no and return it back, but then you have to put your reason why you're saying no. But my oldest is now 17. I've never been offered an alternative. I'm the coordinator. I founded the group. It's called Afro Talks. Our aim is to teach and educate and celebrate African culture. And as you can see, there's different shades of brown. And we do have parents who attend who are non-black but want to introduce culture in their family. So we welcome anybody.
The flu injection does not contain port gelatin, and this is now offered as an alternative. Having a flu and COVID jab helps to keep people well. It helps to stop the spread and helps to reduce the pressures that the hospitals have over winter. More people are likely to get flu this year because we haven't built up natural immunity during the pandemic. If you get flu and COVID at the same time, research shows you're more likely to become seriously ill. If you're afraid of needles, you can have the nasal spray, and the GPs often do specific clinics for people with learning disabilities. Just ask reception. Our nearest COVID vaccination hub is at the Forum and Bagley Pharmacy. You can call 0800 840 3858 to book your jab. You may be able to claim financial and practical help with heating in your home. Grants are available, including cold weather payment and winter fuel payment. LEAP, Energy and Money Saving Services, offer free advice. 0800 060 7567. Financial support. Helping Hands provides help with debt and borrowing. This is the website. In addition, Citizen Advice Manchester on 0808 278 7800. There are local food banks available. Wythenshawe Food Bank, the number is on the screen. Or, this is the website. In addition, St Aidan's on Wednesday at 12 noon. And in addition, the Message Community Grocer on 0161 946 9494.